All right, welcome to my show. I have not done a show in, I'd like to say, almost about a month. Last show I did, I was yelling at Stabby because Stabby, I think, was bitching too much about how I was hurting his feelings. I don't know, maybe I just never really understood the guy. I think we've been cool, so I'm not going to relive all that. I guess I've tried to be nicer to the guy because he complained and made an effort at complaining. So I was just like, okay, well, let's just try to be nice to the guy, see where this goes. This is sort of a different thing, And he's been nice back, so I guess it does work both ways, Anyways, I had to do a show because I haven't done a show in a month, and basically a whooping 2 people have said they've missed my show, and they've been reminiscing about my show, and I've been thinking, well, I haven't done one in a while. Also, since I listen to a lot of different shows, I never know when to do the right show at the right time. So it's like, okay, whenever I was going to do one last night, but then Barco came on, so I was like, well, what the fuck? And then I saw Goose come on, so I was like, shit, so I don't know. I just figured I just don't like to step over other people's shows, because usually it's not that I'm afraid to step over their toes, but they usually have better shows than me. And when they have better shows than me, why step over that toe? Why step over someone's production if it's better than yours? So that's just the way I see it. I'm not afraid to do it. It's just, and I'm also going to admit I'd prefer to be a chat warrior than to kind of do a show, because then this requires effort, this requires all this requires all that. So anyways, regardless, let's just talk about some of the things that have been going on. I've not done a show in about a month. So much shit has gone down, as it does here at the World of Spreaker. Let's see here. Bastard FC is gone. Let's see here. Someone's in the chat. Hey, what's up? News guy's there. He says what? I don't know what the fuck. No hug. Uh-oh. I'm sensing some hostility from News guy. Oh, that's fine. But anyways, yeah, Bastard FC closed. The official reason was that I guess RD was unfortunate enough, and what he did was he decided that he was going to upload a show on Spreaker, or to the Bastard FC Twitter, which is surprising because knowing RD, I didn't even think he knew what Twitter was. I know that he knows what Skype is, and Spreaker, and probably Nickelodeon. Those are the only 3 sites that I could ever figure out that this guy would know what they are. And this isn't a knock to him. He just likes to keep it very simple. And when he keeps it very simple, that's what he does. So, Bastard FC closed because, I guess, RD uploaded Kevin's show. I always thought this was kind of weird because, now, if you look at the Bastard FC timeline, they've uploaded and shared different shows. So, I don't know what the big deal about uploading a Kevin show, who I assume is, a good friend with all these people. So to upload his show and then for Barco to throw a fit like that was amazing because, again, look at the Bastard FC timeline on Twitter. Boom. If you look up and down, you'll see it mostly does spew out its own shows like the Bastard FC shows, but they've done a lot of different things. They've shared news guy shows, goofy shows. So what I think this is just Barco having his little creepy control issues. I mean, it's like, how can you really get mad at RD? RD's not a person anyone should ever get mad at. I mean, you know what you're expecting with RD. His philosophy is basically McKenna. Do what you want. Everything revolves around RD. That's not a knock at him. That's just who he is. And, hey, it might be a good thing, for him. And if he ever goes too far about, worshiping himself, it's just like, you can only laugh. You can't get mad at someone like that, because they've limited themselves to, like, one philosopher who's some internet guru who is a hashish smuggler. And then he got caught eventually, and so he went on speaking tours of, how to think. When, if you're looking at internet gurus on how to think, that's not a good sign at all. It just isn't. But he made so much money this McKenna guy made so much money doing all these different speaking tours and books and all this shit that, he is able to live high and mighty on some Hawaiian island. In case you don't know, Hawaii, especially certain islands, are super, super expensive. Most people can't afford to live there. And if they do live there, it's a few people for one little shitty fucking apartment somewhere. And if you're able to own a home on Hawaii, that's equivalent to owning a home somewhere in San Diego. If you don't know about San Diego, it's really expensive. But damn it, why am I getting off track here? I should never get off track. So Barco closed in a fit of rage Bastard FC over RD sharing Kevin's show. And there were situations behind it. So instead of Barco actually confronting RD and said, hey, don't do that, he chimped out because he has these creepy control issues. He chimped and he's like, screw everybody. And then he just deleted Bastard FC. So he screwed Alan. He screwed everyone who was a part of that. He screwed their access. And although it is his radio station, although he pretended sometimes it was RD, but ultimately it was always his. It was always about him controlling all these little people. And so he deleted it in a fit of rage. And that's fine. I guess that's what he does. He always, he's like a little leprechaun, he's up all night and then disappears during the day. So that's what usually happens to most of the shows. So what happened was a few days later, after him just destroying Bastard FC, he made the robot with a Glock. He turned that into a pro account. Although it was a pro before, it was the gray pro, the one that I have, but he just upgraded it to a 5-hour show. So he doesn't have to share that account with anybody except for himself, which is fine. Hey, everyone's all about themselves. Let's just at least be open and upfront about it. So, and then something else happened. And Barco yesterday in News Guy's chat said, problem with Spreaker is the existing groups are quick to get butthurt and ban you if you say anything remotely interesting in their chats. And that's the thing. This is very true. A lot of people will do this. I'm not even going to name names in this, but there's a lot of people who do this crap where, if you criticize the host, they'll definitely ban you. I assume that's more than half of the people I know on Spreaker. But there's quite a few that don't, too. I mean, if you can't accept criticism, you need to get off the air. I mean, it's pathetic unless you want to be laughed at or clowned at, So, do what you got to do. So, the only problem with that is that whole statement was, ban you if you say something interesting in their chats, as Barco said. But the thing is, Barco himself is huge into censorship. Huge into censorship. And this is a guy who has over 1,000 sock puppets. And guess what he does? He bans sock puppets in his chat. You cannot have a sock puppet in his chat. Yesterday, I set up everything. I was going to get online, but then, I saw... they're obvious sock puppet accounts. But when you delete sock puppet accounts... So what happened was yesterday, there's 2 Debbie Daily socks in his chat. And they're actually, his show's kind of boring because no one was on yet. And so what he decided to do was he decided just to ban them. And it's your show wasn't really having, no one was really having any fun yet. And they're just having fun, supplementing fun. And when I see people do that, then they're just banning fun. So if they're not into fun, why go to their show? So, I don't know. Beats me. If a host is so much against fun, why do go to a show? Answer is you shouldn't. Any host that's really pussified... Now, I'll give people who are educators some slack here because they're trying to deliver a high-quality product. But if you're delivering a low-quality project and you're not allowing... and you're big into censorship at the same time, there's no point in going. Anybody could do a show like that. So, I've been noticing this a lot with a lot of people. A lot of hosts on Spreaker. They get very ban happy. It's not just Barco, who's the biggest hypocrite, who also has the most socks and has a lot of censorship. So, I don't know. It's very sad that, and then I get called the weak ass pussy faggot, but that's not the case at all. You know, it's all about freedom. It's all about no censorship. But you can't bitch about censorship when you're a fucking huge censorship asshole yourself. I mean, that's my only problem here. So, whatever. You know how, I guess hypocrisy knows no bounds. And with all this shit going down, guess who? Mr. Alan Wayne decides to delete his Facebook account again. There's no fucking reason to delete that. Absolutely not. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, fine. You want to delete all your Spreaker accounts? You know, if you get bored with them, fine, whatever. But your Facebook, you have a lot of real life friends on there, and all this, and so every time you delete a Facebook account, you know, those people notice, and then they get a little worried. I mean, this is I don't know with all these manic people on Spreaker. It's like, fuck, just stop. Don't move. Just sit. Fucking focus. Don't run away when there's no reason to run away. I mean, at least deactivate or something. Don't just delete. Or just hit log out. You know, certain people, even Barco does that. Like, whenever he's away for a few days, it's like, deactivate Twitter, deactivate Facebook. It's because he has these control issues. So it's like, man, these people, like, just log off. Or don't go to these sites. I mean, you don't have to mess with them. Oh, these people are clowns. And another thing about Vegas, it's still going on. Although I suspect, probably, if you're a native of BTR, you're probably not going to go. A few people have said maybes from the BTR crowd, but I doubt it. Because these people are, you know, another egomaniac crew, and